Okay. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 is where we are. This is where we are in terms of your homework. This is where you are in terms of what you would be tested on. And that's not everything, but that's kind of the beginning. Numbers 5 will be coming sooner than you think. Number 6 is down the road in terms of the end of the semester. And number 7 is life. So substitution. Given that R is -16 and S is -2, evaluate this expression R over S, R divided by S. So you're just going to substitute. I could care less whether you can do it in your head. Because eventually, you're going to have a lot more complicated formulas you're going to have to plug stuff into and evaluate. So when you create good habits, and you create good habits by substituting completely, then simplify. Don't take shortcuts. So when we substitute, we're going to plug -16 in for the R, and we're going to replace S with -2. And that's exactly all you need to show. A negative divided by negative. Positive. 16 divided by 2 is 8. That's the first question on the homework for 0.3. I know you could do it in your head. So why would I ask a question that easy on a test if you can just do it in your head? Because I would want you to be able to establish some confidence. But not because you can do it in your head. Establish the confidence of it's just substitution and simplify. Because here we go. Replace 3 for B to see how it goes C then B. So you have to be careful about where you're plugging things into. So 5 times C becomes 5 times 6. And then you're going to divide by 2 times B. So 2 times 3. All right. Let me hear some answers. 5. So we have a 5. Anything else?
I got 5.
You got 5 as well. Anything else? Any other answers besides 5? That's it? The answer is 45. The answer is 45. I did it in my head. Why should I show you? No. I did it in my head. That's what I get from students. I follow the order of operations. Now, doesn't that piss you off? Yeah. Because here's the deal. I feel, makes me angry, makes me frustrated. Not angry, make me frustrated when I'm grading you guys. And if you just did the order of operations, if you just substituted and did the steps in order, you're supposed to multiply and or divide in order from left to right. So this is 30 divided by 2 times 3, 60 divided by, I said the word 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15 times 3, which is 45. because that ain't a 2. Let me fix my English. That ain't no 2. Multiply and or divide in order from left to right. Here comes the big test of the day. Can I actually plug something into it? Calculate. All right, so we add up 5 times 6, 5 times 6 divided by 2 times 3, 2 times 3. Now, if it was written like this, 5c divided by parentheses 2b, then you multiply 2 times b first, so this would be divide by 6. Then the answer would be 5. But the order of operations are how it's that yellow brick road to get to the final correct answer. Because there can't be 2 different answers. Did anybody actually get 45? No. Don't be shy. Don't let people in your life just get it wrong and you're not going to speak up. You got to tell them what's going on. I got to tell my family, and you're wrong. I might be the youngest in the family, but the rest of my brothers and sisters have been wrong. 39, right? That was the second. Sorry, that was. I don't know why I started with 2. Been talking about the last 5 minutes. Order of operations. So multiply, then divide in order from left to right.
Yeah, give it 30.
So 30 divided by 2 is 15 times 3, 45. Again, because that's not a 2, what you're supposed to do is remember, division means you multiply by the reciprocal. So if I change all of this to just multiplication, this is 5 times 6 times 2 is now 1/2 times 3. That's why we multiply or divide in order from left to right, because it's just multiplication. That's why when I said it equal 2, it's a 1/2. When we have division, it's multiplying by the reciprocal. So we substitute here, 28 minus, is the negative being squared?
Yes.
No. Is there parentheses around the negative? Do you see any parentheses? So the only thing being squared is whatever I plug in for R. So to make sure you don't square the parentheses, I'm sorry, square the negative, I'm gonna go 2 and then square it. That way I don't square that negative. It's subtraction. It's not -2 squared, it's just minus a 2 squared. And then plus S is 16. And then plus a 16. And then we're gonna divide by. And then the next substitution, R to the second, so plus parentheses 2 to the second. I didn't actually do any calculation. All I did was the substitution. I know 2 squared is 4. I know you know 2 squared is 4. Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes when you take that extra step, I've seen people, they square it in their head and they put 4, and then they think when they go back to the next step, oh, I haven't squared that yet. It was a square, so let's go 16. And they'll do it again. Because they know they're supposed to square it, and they think they haven't squared it yet because they did it in their head and they get to write it out. So they square the last time, they square the 4 that they came up with. Don't trust what you've head. As a, again, I don't mean this is not a jab at anybody, but has it worked so far? I realized that probably way too late. I should stop trying to do things in my head or write things down on paper. So 28. Addition and subtraction is going to be the last part we do in order of operation. So this is 28. Parentheses, there's nothing you can do on the inside. Exponent is the next operation. So 28 minus 2 squared is 4. And then plus. And then I still have that 16. Division happens after the square. Exponent before the division. So 16. And I still have to divide. And then that 2 squared is a 4. Now, addition and subtraction is going to happen last. Is 28 minus 4 over here going to affect anything over there if there's addition here? No. So you would get away if you want to go ahead and do 28 minus 4 right now. It's not going to affect anything. However, if you want to play it safe, you just keep writing it down. So this is still 28 minus 4. And then we're going to add, because that's going to happen last. And you do division. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that's a 4. And then if you look ahead, what's negative 4 plus 4? 8. Negative 4 plus 4. That's going to cancel out. So 28 plus 0. It's just going to be 28. So if you look at this, you can see you're just going to get 28. But if you want to go from left to right, 28 minus 4 is 24. And then plus 4 is 20. When you're taking a standardized test to get a nursing license, and you're not allowed to use a calculator in some instances, get used to doing the substitution exactly, and then know your order of operation. That's what they're testing for. Are you able or willing to do those steps? Because are you willing and able to follow steps when you're taking care of a patient? Now, in just a short few weeks, we will be doing a problem that looks just like number 5. Number 5, A is supposed to be an 8, B is going to be 2, C is going to be a -6. How you doing? C is equal to a -6, and B is going to be. Now we're going to substitute into A minus C over B minus B. So straight substitution. Replace A with an 8, and then minus, and then C. C is -6. So what should I do? Not here. Straight substitution. Minus C is -6. Take the extra step. So you just show the substitution. So we make sure that all the pieces are in place. And then it's all over. Going in for D is 4. And then minus, going in for B is a 2. Okay. Before you even do what am I going to do with the numerator and the denominator? What's going to happen when I do this numerator denominator? What's the final end? This is what kind of thing is this when you look at this whole thing? It's a what? It's a fraction. So I'm going to simplify it if I can and use the fraction. So the first thing I need to do is simplify the numerator to see what I get. So this 8 minus -6 is going to become 8 plus 6 over 4 minus 2 is just 2. So this 8 plus 6 is now 14 over 2, and 14 over 2 is just 7. It is 7 over 1, yes. But 7 over 1 is not simplified to those terms. 7 divided by 1 is just 7. Okay. 8 plus 6 over 4 minus 2. Let me show you how it goes horribly wrong. I see this happen all too often. Okay, so 4 can go into 2 into 8 2 times, and 2 can go into 6 3 times. And so this is just 2 plus 3, and the answer is equal to 5. No. You can't reduce fractions unless they're common factors. Addition and subtraction is not factors. Factors have to be multiplication. The reason why we can reduce this is because this is 2 times 7 factors, multiplication. Divided by 2 times 1, 2 over 2 reduces to 1 over 1. 7 over 1 is just 7. So again, order of operation, I have to simplify the numerator, denominator, and then I can reduce the fraction. If it reduces, doesn't reduce it, doesn't reduce it. But substitution. We're going to do this when we do slope of a line. Let's come. And when we come back at 9:30, I'll show you what numbers 6 and 7 are all about.